Explain to me, James Jones, former Green Bay Packer great, who had great success with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't every team get in line and knock on the door to see what it would take to get Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, and now possibly Matthew Stafford? I don't understand why the New York Jets are the only team in football actively talking to Green Bay and Aaron.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking to the Baltimore Ravens or Lamar Jackson.
Insane.
And we just found out about Stafford, so I'll put that in the back burner for the moment.
Yeah.
Help me understand what the hell's going on in the NFL.
I'm trying to understand it because this is mind-boggling to me right here. Like you're talking about, I could care less about Matthew Stafford. I could care less about Aaron Rodgers. And you guys know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the baddest man to throw a football, in my humble opinion. I would argue with anybody, any day, any time, for however long. But Lamar Jackson is out there.
Yeah.
And you are sitting over here telling me that you are not going to pursue this kid. He is 26 years old, 49-19. All he does is win. All he does is make plays. He's an MVP of the National Football League. If he plays in the playoffs, who knows what's going to happen against JoJo Burrow when the Baltimore Ravens have Lamar
won the
Jackson.
game. That's
This
what
is
would've
a
happened.
franchise quarterback that you are plugging into your team for the next 10 to 15 years that is going to be dominant. Jets, you talking about you want to win? Sauce, you talking about you want to win? It shouldn't be nothing about Aaron Rodgers. You should be up there in the Jets organization, in the building right now saying, what do we have to do to get Lamar Jackson here?
And that's what's fascinating for young guys like that to be burning the cheese heads to try to get Aaron Rodgers. Right now, you can get Lamar Jackson, 2 first-round draft picks, give you those in a instant, which is quicker than an instant, right? That's number one. Number two, all right, he wants $180, $190 million guaranteed. Give it to him.
Give it to him.
The guy's 26 years old, and instead of having a 2-year window with Aaron Rodgers, that's all you're going to get.
That's it.
And maybe you do win. Very short opportunity. Why not have a 7-year window, an 8-year window?
Yes.
If I'm the New York Jets, and I'll give you another team in 1 second where it makes a lot of sense also. But if I'm the New York Jets, and I know I got all my eggs in that Aaron Rodgers basket, and I understand why. He's not a cheap guy. Yeah. He's going to cost you a lot of money for a couple of years. I would rather take that same amount of money, give it to a 26-year-old who's an NFL MVP. I know he gets hurt. I know that's a concern, but guess what? Everybody gets hurt.
True.
I ain't worried about his injuries, and I lock and load for the next decade or damn near it with Lamar Jackson. And if you offer him $180, $190 in that ballpark, guaranteed, because I'm one of these rare guys. I don't think you have to give him Deshaun Watson's deal or better.
Okay.
I know that's out there.
Yeah.
I think everybody understands that the Deshaun Watson deal is an outlier. It's crazy, which is why nobody else has gotten close to it.
No doubt.
Joe Burrow's not going to get it, all right? Herbert's not going to get it. Jalen Hurts is not going to get it. They're going to get a lot of money. No one's getting the D. Watson deal. If you come up above Russell, above Kyler, in the neighborhood of Josh Allen, maybe a little bit more, Aaron and that kind of stuff, I'm telling you right now, $180, $190 gets the deal done, and I don't think Baltimore matches it. No. So now I'm the New York Jets, and I got Lamar Jackson for the next 8 years. Yeah. Why wouldn't I do that?
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm still trying to figure this whole situation out, and I'm an eyeball test guy, right? And I really don't know what these GMs are watching, because when you talk about Lamar Jackson, I mean, he is unstoppable. Defensive coordinators lose sleep trying to prepare for Lamar Jackson. I've talked to plenty of defensive coordinators, and they'll tell you, I'd rather play against a Patrick Mahomes than play against a Lamar Jackson. Because you got to deal with the legs and you got to deal with the arm. So up together, up at night, all hours of the night in this building, putting together a game plan to try to stop this kid is dang near impossible when he's on.
Now,
and you telling me that you not even in on it, the Falcons, you telling me with no quarterback, with I don't know, what's his name, Ritter, you telling me that you not in on Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
The Commanders. Ron Rivera, you don't win this year, you possibly fired. You telling me you not in on Lamar Jackson?
Sam Howell, that he's so much better.
Frank Reich, you just got fired messing around with Matt Ryan.
Well,
you telling me you not in on Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy to me.
Can I ask you a quick question? Because you just said, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Yeah. You said, I think it's a direct quote, I'm James Jones. I'm an eyeball test guy.
Yes.
So you're on the record as saying that?
Said, yeah.
As an eyeball test guy. Is the hair replacement working on Cody or not?
Wow.
I'm just asking you. I want to make sure.
You tell me.
Yeah, is that working or
How's it looking?
Not in the back. In the front is working a little bit.
Thanks, man. That's the only place that it matters, Craig. And where do you get the gall to even bring up hair anywhere?
Nah, I'm proudly bald.
Are you?
I'm a cue ball. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But my man.
Yeah.
No, it's handsome if that's the look you're going for. Meanwhile, while we're trying to figure out why no one's interested in all these great quarterbacks, and I don't think that's ever happened in the history of the league where you have two legitimate, I keep using the term, I apologize, but generational talents, and ain't nobody has an interest at all in signing them, which is just bat bleep crazy. There is a guy out there having a workout. And yesterday I thought it might be like a on the sly kind of workout, but it's actually a public workout. And what's interesting, I'm talking about Odell Beckham Jr., the New York Giants are there. The Baltimore Ravens are there. A couple other teams are going out to Arizona where he's going to be working out. Here's the beauty of this. If he's now inviting NFL teams to watch him work out, in his head, he's ready to go.
Ready to go.
All right, so what that means is Odell Beckham still has to prove himself to people from a standpoint of is he back? Meaning he's not going to be a 5-year X amount of dollar contract. He's most likely going to be a 2-year deal. And there'll be an out after the first year and a small little signing bonus. So I love the fact that the Giants are considering bringing a more mature Odell Beckham back to complement now Daniel Jones, especially because I believe they're going to lose Saquon Barkley after the draft. We'll get to that in a little bit. But there are other teams that should go get him too.
A lot of teams.
Yeah, and while the Giants are smart in going out there, the fact that Baltimore is going out there and they don't even know if Lamar's going to be their quarterback shows you there's a level of dysfunction that I've not seen since Ozzie Newsome got the job 20 years ago. But I would think that the Green Bay Packers, should be out there. I'm looking at other teams. The Dallas Cowboys should be at that workout.
They should be.
There are teams that are legitimately another complimentary wide receiver away from being able to say, you know what? We're now a badass offense that's going to be very hard to stop. And he was rumored to be going to Dallas, obviously, during the season, towards the end of it, as Dallas was making their playoff push. But I think he's going to be in demand from a handful of teams.
No doubt about it. And you just talked about generational quarterbacks in Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford. Odell Beckham Jr. is a generational talent at the wide receiver spot.
doubt.
So as I'm going out here to this workout, I'm saying, okay, let me see if that juice is still there. Let me see if he's getting in and out of his cuts and getting in and out of his breaks the right way. We already know the type of talent that he is. We could turn the tape on any team he been on, right? Splash plays in Cleveland at his worst time in his career, right? You seen what he did when he went to the Rams. Obviously, you seen what he did with the Giants. So I want to see if that juice is still there. I want to see if he's getting in and out of his breaks. If he's getting in and out of his breaks, what can we do to get him? And that's a lot of teams. I mean, the Packers could use him. The Cowboys could use him. The Jets could use him. The Jets don't have a true number 2 receiver.
No,
they can use him, right?
Especially since Elijah Moore wanted to be traded 3 months ago.
You just gave Daniel Jones all that money. You have to put talent around him, right? Let's start with Odell Beckham Jr., right? The Green Bay Packers. You have 2 young, good rookie receivers in Watson and Romeo Doubs, right? Add OBJ to the mix. So it's a lot of teams that could benefit from OBJ. I'm not saying OBJ is going to come in there and be a bona fide number 1 wide receiver. I do think he still can get to that. But even if you coming in and stepping into the roster and you're the number 2 guy, OBJ, he can win each and every one-on-one battle. He can go up and make the tough catches. We know when the ball's in his hands that he's going to do what he does with yak yardage. So I would assume a lot of teams will be in on OBJ because you're going to be able to get him at the right price.
Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.